Yo, what up guys, beside here with the champion spotlight for Archmage Hellmut, the epic champion you get for free for fighting that doomtower secret rooms on normal level, and you eventually get this champion. Whether it takes you 3 months, 6 months, even up to a year, he's totally worth it. In this video, I want to take a look at his skills, his abilities, use him in some content and show you how to build him. Hopefully you guys stick with me for this one. Archmage Hellmut is one champion that you cannot pull from shards, so don't make the mistake of using this champion for food or anything. Once you get this champion, he's totally worth keeping in your vault, even if it's just for fighting the Bannerlords faction, where he's extremely good, like we will see soon. So let me just tell you about some of his skills. The main thing that I know personally on my account, by the time I got Archmage Hellmut, I was way above needing him for any content, so he stayed on my account in my vault until today, where I put some gear on him. I'm going to show him off in some content. The first thing you should know about him is that he is one of those few champions in raid that brings 3 buffs. Did I mention that he cannot be pulled from shards? Yes, that's one special thing about him. He can also place 3 buffs on all your allies. What buffs does he bring? I think one of the, this is the skill, right? He places increased speed, increased crit rate, and also increased crit damage. Now, these are 2 of the buffs that increase the damage of your damage dealers. I'm talking about increased crit rate and increased crit damage. And whether you want to build your damage dealer with 70% crit rate, if you always have Archmage in the team, that's one viable way of doing it. But one thing that endgame players use the champion is the most is a seer team, right? Because seer does damage according to how many buffs that she can cleanse and damage at the same time, right? He just does high amount of damage when there are buffs out there. So he's one of those few champions who have 3 buffs. Some of them are Duchess, one of them is Muslim Mage, another one is Lydia, the Dead Siren. So there are a lot of champions who can do this, Material Life Bane, but he's one of those early game ones where once you get a Seer and this champion in the mix, especially the fact that he can boost the crit rate of Seer while also boosting the crit damage. I heard that she removes the buffs before even doing the damage. Therefore, it doesn't make sense to make her 70% crit rate. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you guys know, I think you still need crit seer on a 100% crit rate, because she will remove this crit rate, crit damage buff before doing the damage. I think that's what I heard. I've not even done the math around that or do the testing to confirm that, but I think I've heard some people say that she removed the buffs first. So, but that's one thing that I'm going to be showing off in one of the damage builds to see what he can do for a seer team right here. But this is not just for a seer team. If you do not have a seer, increased crit rate and increased crit damage and increased speed are still 3 buffs that are essential. That's why they gave this champion an aura for the arena. That means they're expecting you to use this champion in the arena, because you need increased crit damage to do more damage right here, right there in the arena, and he can be used in the leader slot. For a champion who we will see mostly in the dungeons, in the Doom Tower, it's kind of rare, it's kind of weird to see him have his arena aura, to be sincere, because I've never really seen this champion in the early game in the arena, because by then once people have Arbiter, yes, you can obtain Arbiter sometimes even before you get Archmage Hellmut. Once some people get Arbiter, he can never be in arena team in terms of boosting or turn meter boosting or arena aura. He doesn't feature anymore in the arena. Let me know in the comments if you're still using Archmage in the arena for some weird build. But his character build is insane. It looks great, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Let me see what other skills he brings to the team besides that main buffing skill. He attacks one enemy, also attacks all other enemies if the first attack is critical. So this is one of those few champions that actually wants 100% crit rate on him. You cannot build this champion with less than that. So just build 100% crit rate on him, even if you have to go crit rate glove to hit that crit requirement. I'll make sure on my build I also have 100% crit rate on him. He doesn't have to have high crit damage, right? He just wants to be able to attack all other enemies. If you don't have 100% crit rate, he's going to attack only one person. So he will also, the second hit has a 50% chance of placing stun. That's the sweet part now. A champion that can place stun debuff for 1 turn is good. Even if it's going to be a 50% chance, which can be booked up to a total of what, 75% chance of landing that stun, is great. It's a good chance of stunning. That's why I'll put him in a stun set to show him off in some other content. After attacking, decrease the turn meter of each enemy without stun. So it's either they are fully controlled or they have their turn meter reduced by 20% if they are not controlled by stun. So that's something you can use for wave content. because he's not just there putting buffs that seer will cleanse. Remember, I told you it's also useful if you don't have a seer team. Now for the A1, this champion attacks one enemy, fills his own turn meter by 10%, fills the turn meter by 20%. If this attack is critical, remember I told you this champion wants crit. Yes, I'm finding out now why he wants crit so much. What does the passive do? Immune to turn meter decreasing effects. Who is trying to reduce his turn meter? Maybe Arena. Arena, that's where they try to reduce your turn meter. He's like, nope, you cannot reduce my turn meter. Now for a free champion you get, I think this passive has to be a little bit something extra, but I guess we can't all be we can't be choosing when we are actually beggars. Appreciating Raid for giving us a champion that is actually useful in the Banner Loss faction for those players who are getting him from the Doom Tower normal. Not every epic champion is useful for the Doom Tower secret rooms normal, but he is one of the first one you get. One of the other ones is Dark Kill, and like I said, there cannot be someone from shards. You can find that right here on a full list of champions. Archmage Hellmut finds himself on the list of champions who cannot be summoned from any shards right here. That's his name right here. So all right, it's time for me to show you how I build this champion and where I'm going to be testing him out in some content. If I scroll down to my Archmage Hellmut, he has not fought any battles in my team. So this is the build I want on him. Yes, this is one of the viable way of going for Archmage Hellmut. Stun. It's as if the stun that he already has on his A2 is not enough. You even give him more stun set. Just like you will build a sealed Drake, you either build a stun set or a relentless set on this type of champion. Now, I always think about the early game players who have been playing for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year and get this champion. If you do not have good gear yet, every champion who wants to go first like this to boost your allies and buffs will want speed set. Yes, he wants speed set. Remember, he has a skill that has stun. He has a skill that has turn meter feel for him. This one does not need accuracy, but this one does need accuracy. This skill A2 does need accuracy to land. So this might be the only reason why you put accuracy on this champion right here, the A2. Now, if you do not care about this stun, maybe you don't want accuracy, but I built accuracy on mine because I want more stun, either from his skills or from the artifact. The artifacts you see right here, the stun set does not need accuracy. This stun set does not need accuracy, but the skill A2 needs accuracy. So this is a very early beginner stage build. Triple speed set, you can't go wrong. Even my build right here have 1 set of speed, and now if I go 2 more, 3 more, it's a perfect build right here. As long as he goes first, he goes fast, he buffs your seer, he buffs other allies before they take a turn. That's what he's there for. Now you can't always go wrong with accuracy if you need it, or perception. Those are the 3 early game builds I'll always suggest. I've seen some people building him in the lifesteal set for those players who are using him in clan boss, because for early game every champion you build gets thrown into the clan boss. And then for faction wars, if you're going to use this champion for that faction war clear, you don't yet have a healer or a reviver. He is going to be helping control the waves while he keeps himself alive in a lifesteal set or a regeneration set. Now stun set is also very, very viable for faction war. Every enemy in some faction world normally has stun set or lifesteal or regen set to keep themselves alive, so they don't have to rely on a healer or a reviver. That's the early game sets. Now for the end game players, you already know relentless and this thing stun set will be the best way to go on an Archmage Hellmut. Now if you do not have somebody else to put 1 more buff for your seer to strip, like a shield set, I've seen some people put him on a shield set just because they want 1 more buff for seer to strip. I have my shield set on my Muslim mage, so I don't need to put this champion in. Where is the shield set? In a shield set right here. Muslim mage has the shield set on my account, so I don't need to give shield set to him to add 1 more buff for her. But if you're just going to use seer and Archmage Hellmut, give him shield set. Make the buffs he puts out right there up to 4. Shield set plus 3 more, so that seer can strip it and nuke harder. With decreased defense or weaken out there already. All right, that's the early game and the end game set recommendations that you can have on this champion. If you don't have any of these good sets that I'm talking about, you can mix it up with speed, with perception, with accuracy. There is no wrong way to build this champion as long as he is fast. I'll show you my total stat I have on this champion. Is going to be going up to 249 speed. That's faster than my debuffer. That's faster than my seer. That's faster than every other champion in the team, who is going to be doing damage or debuffing. So he needs to be one of those champions who go first and buff them before they start to do damage. So that's something to note right here. You can see my crit rate, which is the second priority on this champion. Well, almost the first. Is going to be 99%. Why is my 100% crit rate? I need 100%. Why I was able to hit 99% with no crit damage requirement right here. I wasn't focusing on crit damage. The next thing I looked at was accuracy. 431 accuracy, you agree with me, is enough accuracy to even debuff hard Doom Tower. Yes, with that is A2. I can actually stun some of them in that hard Doom Tower wave so they don't get any ideas or nuke me. So that's my total stats for Archmage Hellmut for his masteries. I do have masteries on this champion recently put on him. You can check out Hate's website for other masteries recommendation if you're going to use this champion in the clan boss. You want to go towards the defense 3, or if you're going to use him in the arena, there's a totally different mastery. This is a general build PvE masteries for him, where I focus on a little bit of accuracy, increase the duration of the buff that he casts on our allies if we're not cleansing it with a seer, and of course is the only way of doing damage will be War Master. So that's my simple masteries on Archmage Hellmut. And now for the what do you call this now, blessing, you always recommended for epic champions like this who always want to go towards commanding presence to strengthen the aura of the leader, who might be him in some teams. And also the second masteries, I mean blessing, I've seen some people put on him, I don't have him unlocked right here, will be, where is it, cruelty, for a long-term damage against especially dungeon bosses, right, or even clan boss. You can go towards cruelty to decrease the target's defense by 1% or more when you get it unlocked to a higher level. So those are the two masteries I would recommend depending on where you use him, cruelty or commanding presence. If somebody else in your team already have commanding presence, there is no need to give this champion commanding presence blessing. All right, that's my Archmage Hellmut build. Are you ready to see him in some content and some battles? The first place I'll test him out in content is gonna be arena, because he has that arena aura, so it will kind of be an injustice if we don't test him out there. The problem is everybody right here has an arbiter, so he will just go second. If I try him out in some content like this, he will go second. But let's just try it out and see. I'll put an arbiter in the leader slot because I don't want him to go second. So, and who else do I use right here? All right, if they go first, I lose the speed battle and I lose the entire battle. But if I go first, I probably will win this battle. All right, I'm going first. So what he will do in the team is probably going to be buff us, depending on what you want to do. So let me put this champions block. Now you probably want to start with the skill that will stun them, or if I know I will go next and everything is speed tuned well, I want to buff instead to make sure my champion will do maximum damage. This is increased speed. I already have increased speed on my team, but he can also do the same thing. Now, ooh, they took a turn. That's what I was trying to avoid. Okay, we finally got around to our turn. And who is going to be the biggest damage dealer right here to nuke them? Hopefully they don't survive. 1, 2. They got that crazy thing that I was afraid of, and they survived my hits. They survived that little, what do you call that? That artifact that keeps somebody alive. I hate that. But normally we're supposed to nuke them down with that increased crit rate and increased crit damage. I don't know if that was a good way to showcase this champion, but you get the point. He's going to boost the damage that my damage dealer was supposed to do, and instead they survived that hit. Let me try it again. Maybe this team is not going to survive if they don't have stone skin though. They don't have stone skin, but they do have some shielding. And who am I going to lock out? Let me lock out this revive champion. Buff. Or should I try to stun instead? Now I want to kill the nuker especially. I mean the reviver. That's how it should be. That's a good showcase right here. Increased crit rate, increased crit damage. Nobody stripped off my buff, and I was able to go in there and damage them, take them all down. If I did not buff my speed and my damage dealer Magna, would it have done that amount of crit damage? I don't know. But 30% increased crit damage is a lot. I don't even need its increased crit rate, but I needed that increased crit damage to kill everybody, including that tanky reviver Python. All right, I think that's the showcase for the arena. Let me take this champion into content like how end game players actually use him, not in the arena at all. We go into content like this, whether it's any level of the dungeons, and we'll put together a team like this that will comprise of a seer. That's how endgame players will use him. And where is the team? Right here. So I'm showcasing it like an early game build, but we have a seer right here, who is the only endgame champion that most early game players do not have. So at level 20, it will be easier for us to nuke it, but I just want to showcase the team how it is normally used. You normally have a decreased defense, a weakened champion out here doing debuffs, and he comes in right here and buffs. Yes, he buffs. We already have a shield, you see. That's one buff that seer can strip off, coming from Archmage. Coming from what's his name, Muslim Mage, and he adds. Total, we have 4 buffs right now that seer can strip. Now this champion comes around and adds a little bit more buffs. Which one does he add? He does have increased crit rate. I already have that, so he's gonna add increased defense and block buff, block debuff buff. So that's 2 buffs he's gonna add for us. Total buff we have is how many? 5. No, that's 6 buff that he can add for us right here. So will any of these enemies survive? We have increased crit damage that seer might not benefit from. I know that, but will any of them survive? Let's see. We're starting with the battle with the Karma Bond right here. Removes all buffs and all allies from enemies and allies, and then damage increases according to the number of removed buffs. That's how you do it. And then you reset with your Renegade or with your Prince Kaima. He's even fast enough. Let's try the stun. Let's try the stun. Can he stun anybody? Because I put him in a stun set, so I'm expecting to see some stuns out there. Yes. Yes. That's what you want to happen. Did his skill stun or did my artifact stun? I don't care. All I know is 4 out of the 5 enemies are stunned. Why should I be stunned? Because what's his name now? Her skills is on cooldown because we have used it in the first turn, and we now need this champion to reset it. This is why the enemy should be controlled a little bit in the second wave, so they don't get any ideas and start knocking you down. Now that the skills are reset, well, I don't know if they are available yet, but let me just see. Probably need 1 more turn for the skill to wait. Oh, I used the wrong skill. The skills are available again, but anyways, let's just knock it down. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So enemies were controlled, they could not move, but I was still able to go ahead and nuke them. So that's how endgame players will use them. I personally use other legendary champions in place of Muslim Mage and in place of Archmage Hellmut, but you can see that he is one of the champions that facilitates a seer for the endgame content, or even for level 20 content where you can totally go crazy and nuke. All right. Is there any other content that I should showcase this champion in? It works the same way in Doomtower. Even if you don't want to use this champion in against bosses in the Doomtower, or you don't want to use it in a seer team, some Doomtower waves are so annoying. When I say so annoying, sometimes I come in here and think, who am I going to use in Doomtower? Let me bring out any champion that has stun. That's not a buff. I'm talking about a debuff. Any champion that has stun, show me. I don't care where they are hiding, whether they're in the vault. Show me all my stun champions, and I come together and bring a team like well, he has an arena buff. I'm looking for all the champions that has that stun. Did I select the right debuff too? Yes, this is one, and she is the second one. Exactly, a team like this. So it doesn't seem like a team that will do a lot of damage, but this is a team that will keep the enemies controlled, maybe with 1 damage dealer doing a lot of poisons and making sure that we don't take a lot of damage, and they don't heal themselves. So a team like this is a troll team. Full stun. None of the enemies are going to get a turn. That's the idea. If one person tries to stun them, you miss. Another person tries to stun them, we miss. So we just keep trying to stun them and use poison to do damage. So boosting our team's speed while reducing their own speed. I'm going with the stun. Nothing else matters right here but stunned. That's 4 again out of 5 stunned. And of course, I'll go in with my A1 to try to stun the last person, who is this one right here, did not get stunned. Turn meter boosting. Decrease defense added right here. I'm doing it on manual, but it works on auto too. Can stun these enemies this entire time and they'll have nothing else to do. Adding the increased speed again. Are they all off? They are awake now. Stun again. None got stunned. Stun. Please don't let them get a ton. I did say nobody will get a ton, but they are about to get a ton. Some of these Doom Tower ways, once they get a ton, it's over for you. So sometimes I bring a team like this. I do have a reviver in here. See the Drake just in case they do get a ton. I didn't bring a cleanser. I'll just show you only this first wave. He's going in again for the stun again. His stun is working better than Seal the Drake, better than these other champions and Sylar, better than Dickens stun. He's stunning better than them. Can he? Yes. Okay. Seal the Drake took over this time and stunned everybody else. So they are all asleep. I'm in no danger of dying. Even if I was in danger, Seal the Drake will revive that person. So you can put this on auto, walk away, and come back against those very difficult Doom Tower waves. If you want to see how I beat all the Doom Tower waves on hard, I have a separate, dedicated YouTube playlist about that. But that's what Archmage can do for your team. Stun, 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 stun in difficult content, or as a buffer in dungeon content, or doing the both roles in arena content. All right. I only intend to use this champion in my account for Doom Tower and for Faction Wars. Let me know in the comments where you use Archmage Hellmut. When did you get him on your account? How old were your account before you got him? Were you very, very useful for you in those early games, or was those one of those champions you finally got on the end game and you had no use or no purpose for him? Like I don't use him on my account that much. That's this champion guide for Archmage Hellmut. I hope you find this one useful. The Noob to Pro will eventually build this champion in a very, very early game build when we eventually get more 50 fragments for him and summon him from the fragments summoning portal. Hopefully we can beat those secret rooms and get it done. If you're not fighting secret rooms normal, now you have an excuse. This is the reason to go over there and fight those secret rooms. Don't just let it expire every week without actually trying to beat those secret rooms and obtain a champion like this who you can put in any beginner set or an endgame set and help your team for the better. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to comment the next champion you want me to take a look at, build, and test out in content, and I'll see you guys.